Welcome back, you guys. It is the third time that I am trying to do this voiceover. So, I don't have any of the enthusiasm or interest. I've seen the beginning of this so many times, but okay, let's get through this. In general, hi, guys. Welcome back. Look at how messy my house is. Yes, I'm also surprised that it's so messy. No, I haven't done it since the last whole house clean. I basically said that, but with way more enthusiasm. And I did so good. And then it just went really sideways because my kids demand parenting and me to mom them. And that's selfish. So actually what happened is I told all the kids, I was like, listen, guys, do your homeschool on your iPads, but I'll be doing the voiceover. So just find something else to do when you're done until my door's open. And that just went right over the heads. They just kept opening the door Mom, I'm done. Let's do things. And I was like, dang it, kids. You completely threw me off and now you're ruining everything. And so I sold them all on the black market, got $45, pretty cool. And now we don't have to worry about, any of it. Okay, so yes, I haven't cleaned my house since my last whole house clean and fall decorate with me. It's been piling up and piling up. I was going to panic clean for Helene, but didn't. And now Milton is before it's passed, yes, but this is 2 days before it hits. And so I have to clean. I do have a clean laundry room, a clean bathroom, and a clean bedroom. I have been putting so much focus on that because, yes, this house is what I have been reliably informed by Instagram Reels is an ADHD house. I probably have ADHD. I should go get diagnosed so I could just go say it and then not be just making things up and clickbaity, ooh, yeah, I have ADHD. I have all of the markers of ADHD, but no diagnosis of it. But this is often what they say it looks like. It's just cleaning is hard for a lot of us. Maybe you have ADHD and you're the cleanest person who ever existed. If so, let's get married and you can come clean my house because I am not good at it. But I have decided to try to keep my laundry room clean. It's my new focus. It's my new interest, and we'll see how long it lasts. But my theory is so far holding strong. Laundry room's clean, and I've been able to keep it clean. So then I clean my bathroom because if my laundry room's dirty, I don't do laundry, and it just kind of spirals. And now that my bathroom's clean, my bedroom got cleaned, and I'm keeping my bedroom clean. It is at the expense of everything else in my home, though. But I'm fine with that because, content. No, I'm fine with it because I am trying something new and I'm trying to put all of my support into those things, and I think it might trickle down. So we are now going to whole house clean for the storm. And also, it's driving me insane. I am so uncomfortable in my house. It feels horrifying to me. There's no relaxation. There's just sitting in my stuff, looking around thinking, why can't you do better? Why can't you get up and do this? While I'm paralyzed and just not able to do it. I just can't get that executive functioning to be here, get up, do, move, go. I just couldn't. And so the longer you don't do it, the worse you feel about it. And the worse you feel about it, the harder it is to do it. We all know it's a spiral and it sucks. And I have been wrapped up in the spiral publicly for a year now. And it's not getting less shameful, that's for sure. But it is getting easier for me to actually do things. I do seem to be cycling a little bit faster, or eventually I can get to a point where I do a whole house clean and it's phenomenal. So that's what we're doing. We're going to start with dishes. Oh, one big thing. So with Hurricane Helene, I did not really prep. I didn't think it was going to be a thing. And that's so not me. I am such a prepper. Prepper vibes is my whole personality at this point. I love being prepped, and I just know the zombies are coming. I do. You guys say they aren't, but then that's just how you die faster, because you'll be like, what is that? And I will be surviving because I will see somebody who looks slightly off kilter and I'll be like, that's a freaking zombie, and I'll shoot them and probably go to jail because, But anyways, I'm ready for it and I am prepped. I have so much food that we could last for a long time. I have ways to filter water to where I could take a mostly contaminated source and just drink it just fine. Like, I am ready for things. But I wasn't ready for Helene because I was like, ugh, it's never anything. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. And it was a massive deal, a massive deal. We were only out of power for 12 hours in my neighborhood, but the rest of everyone lost it for 4 days. We were trapped in our neighborhood from downed power lines and trees, but I wasn't even going to bother to leave. I was like, no, thanks. I'm good. I'm going to be here for a while. But the night before, I was like, we do need milk and bread, which is funny because that's what everybody needs. So I went to Walmart and it was wild in there. It spun me up so much. I'm like, I don't feel like I am ready for this. And so I bought a ton of stuff. Just try not to cry, try to get some of the perishables. Like, okay, so we have food, but we don't have like the perishable, like the milk part of it all. And I feel like that's normal. I mean, you can't really expect to go through an apocalypse for very long and have milk. But you can't expect to go through like the first week of an apocalypse with milk. So I just wanted to get the milk and half and half for my coffee because that's critically important. And so I went and I got the milk and everything like that. And I don't know, you guys, I'm worried. Like, I know New Zealand probably has cows. So when we get to New Zealand and we overthrow the bunker, we are going to have to go find those stinking dairy cows and get them before the zombies do. And so we can have milk so I can have cream for my coffee. It is paramount. It is of the utmost importance. So, but we need somebody who knows how to milk. Okay, here's what we need. Somebody to captain the cruise ship. Still don't have that. Somebody who has like a general idea of how to put fuel in a cruise ship. That seems important. And we also need somebody who knows how to milk a cow. And, just basic cow farming, ranching of it all. And I would also like both beef and dairy cows. So we need a butcher. And these are the things we need. And I also need to know where in New Zealand we can grow coffee, because eventually we're going to have to start growing our coffee. And there's a lot of stuff. Okay, right here, my dad calls. He always calls me when I'm filming because he has no idea that I'm actually filming. And so he'll like call me. And so I was trying to on my watch so I wouldn't stop the filming, be like, Dad, let me YouTube for once, gosh. And he was just being really selfish. And he was like, oh, are you okay? Are you ready for the storm? Are you going to be safe? Like, that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to text him. But also whenever I decline his call, I'm like, sure. But what if he's actually dying? And like, this is his last moment to reach out and be like, Beth, I love you. You were the greatest daughter of all time. You're my pride and joy. And nobody's ever had a better daughter. But like, I declined his call because I was busy. So I always have to check in like, hey, I'm busy for the moment. Also, are you dying? Because I would love to talk if you are. And he wasn't. And so that was great. But yes, so I wasn't super prepped for Helene. And one of the things I didn't do was wash my dishes for her. And I woke up that morning and I was like, crap, weasel. I need to wash dishes while we still have access to clean water because that is a problem. And so I was washing it in cold water because I was hoarding the hot water for later, I guess, and letting them dry in the dishwasher. And I was so mad at myself because it's a hazard. It's a big hazard to have so many dishes and no way of actually cleaning them. And what I would have done is gotten the huge tub that's in my living room. You'll see it in a minute. I would have gotten that huge tub and put all of the dirty dishes in there, put a lid on, and put it outside of my home to make sure any critters or anything like that wouldn't be in my home looking for my disgusting. My disgusting's already outside. So that's what I would have done. But for Milton's coming. We're not sure if it's going to wobble south or north. If it wobbles south, which it does, spoilers, it will impact Florida almost exclusively. And if it wobbles north, it could come hit us in Georgia. And so I'm watching Ryan Hall, y'all, during this day to see, it was his pre-hurricane coverage. I wanted to see if it was going to wobble south or north. And I wanted to have my dishes done just in case it wobbles north and just smacks the crap out of us. Oh, my little baby wants me. She's doing so well after her spay. Look at her. Little cuddle muffin. Okay, so even with the motivation of a hurricane coming, I don't want to do this. I am really struggling with any form of motivation. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there I get the dog treats and I look at it and Beauty gets so stinking amped over the idea of a dog treat. She smashes the crap out of the camera stand and it flips over backwards and my phone goes everywhere. So we had to pause and I decided to reframe it so you guys would have no idea that we had a collision course with a Rottweiler. And now you guys just think it was a visual change because I'm amazing at YouTube. Okay, so I wanted to give Beauty treats because she has been licking her foot like crazy. So I mentioned this on a live stream earlier. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. So I feel like this year, I declared this year as like the year of Beth. Like I was going to dominate this year. And I really tempted the fates and they thought it was hilarious that I was going to be dominating this year. And so I feel like we've just had a series of kind of crappy, but not catastrophic events. So we started off with my year of me and my husband got really sick and we didn't know what was wrong with him. And it turns out to be a mixture of kidney disease and also cluster migraines, we believe. He has these spots on his brain from neurology scanning him. He has spots on his brain that can lead to a ton of migraines and he just started getting them and never really had them before and they were making him nauseous and dizzy and lightheaded and his head hurt and his kidneys were acting, fussy. But we took him to all of the ologies like cardiology, nephrology, neurology. We went and we had him scanned and so like it was nothing that was going to kill him in the now. And so that was kind of a relief and he is adjusting to his new normal. His migraine meds are making things a lot better and we're fixing his diet and stuff like that. So not catastrophic, but not great, right? So then I am like feeling exhausted and tired and my bones hurt. And also like I am kind of convinced maybe we have a mold issue like in our floorboards or in our walls that are making us sick, but that's besides the point. Okay, beside the point, we are talking about my blood draw that I had, and it was that I was basically in menopause for progesterone, but not estrogen and testosterone, so I started supplementing that. My vitamin D was catastrophically low, and that's what I was feeling symptoms from, so I started supplementing that. And then my heart started acting like a little jerk, and I still have to go to cardiology for that to see, what's really going on, but I would just wasn't feeling well. I was exhausted. My body hurt. Like the deep, deep exhaustion I can't even explain. And all of the things that come along with having your foot half in the door with menopause, like not great. That wasn't thriving. I wasn't doing the crushing 2024 like I have a playlist saying that I am. It's all a lie. But my vitamin D is going up and my heart has been behaving itself. So not catastrophic, just mildly annoying, correct? So now I was getting those dog treats for my dogs because I was like, Beauty keeps licking her paw, and she licked a sore into her paw. And I was like, oh, I really don't want her doing that. And so I have been trying to treat it at home. I bought a little boot for her foot so she couldn't do it anymore because she keeps pulling the socks off that I put on her in the middle of the night and licking her foot. And it's just not been fun. And so I pulled the boot off because I was going to give her a treat. That would distract her. She would chew on the bone and not lick her foot. And so I pulled the boot off, and it had been on for like 24 hours, and it was freaking disgusting. It was supposed to be like antimicrobial, but it looked like it was microbial. It was pro-microbial. There was like mushrooms growing on her feet. That's an exaggeration, but not by much. It was so gross. I called the vet, and I'm like, yuck, help, terrible parents. And they said, well, we're closing for the hurricane, but do you want to come the day after? And I was like, yes, if we still have power, if it wobbles south, let's go. And so I take her into the vet, and it's freaking cancer, you guys. It is a big tumor on her foot. It has not grown into the bone, thankfully, but we have to go to a specialist in Florida to see if we can get it removed. And she's an old Roddy. But, oh my God, like I hope it's just a tumor on her foot and it's not anything else for like widespread cancer. Her brother Beast, we had Beauty and Beast, they share a father but not mothers. And Beast, I took him to the vet because he had been sick for about a month and I knew he was unwell, but his breath smelled really bad. And so I took him to the vet. And they were like, oh, we can't deal with him because he got vet aggressive in his older age. He hated vets. And so I was going to take him home and give him medicine to knock him out. And I was trying to get him back in the car and he slipped and broke his leg. And so they finally felt brave enough that they gave him a shot, knocked him out. Yeah, it was bone cancer. And he was riddled with it. And we just chose never to really have him wake up. Because I didn't want him to be scared. And so it was so bad that we actually put him down right then and there, really. And so it was devastating. And I'm so convinced that Beauty's going to have that because she has it in her genes. And like it traumatized everyone to the point where when I was taking Beauty to the vet just now, like to go have her foot looked at, Sonia goes, I hope she comes back. And I was like, geez, yep, me too. And she goes, remember when Beast didn't? I was like, I do vividly, baby. Hopefully she comes back and it's freaking cancer again. But fortunately it wasn't let's put her down right here and right now situation. So maybe we'll have a little bit good time with her left. And I'm very excited, but I just feel like I keep having these tiny but big, sad, crappy things that I keep trauma dumping on you guys. And I don't want to like hoard it. And I probably should. Maybe I should have better boundaries and not share. But I just am not one for boundaries. I'm not terrible at having boundaries personally. I am terrible at not sharing things with people. Luckily, my computer decided I was being too much of a Debbie Downer and died. And I had to wait a little bit so we can shift vibes abruptly. And I will stop being such a sad sack of donuts and we will let's shift. Shake it off, guys. You should. It's been a while for me, but only a split second for you. So enjoy the tone of the video whiplash. It does make me happy. All right. So all that aside, I am really happy we're getting the rest of this counter cleaned off. I have said it before, I'll say it again. This counter, once it becomes cluttered and terrible, ruins the whole house. I think this will be my second keystone. So for the outer layers of my home onion, the keystone will be, the outer layers, by the way, are the entryway, my bedroom, my bathroom, and the laundry room, because those are the easiest to edit out when I'm doing a whole house clean. So I can picture me doing finger quotes, guys, finger quotes, whole house clean, Now I'm not doing the finger quotes anymore, and I did hit my desk, so I should stop flailing. But if I whole house clean and you don't see my entryway, the laundry room, my bedroom and stuff like that, that's because they are a disgusting mess. I just didn't feel like addressing it because I was tired. And so laundry room, okay, that will be the key pin for the outer layers. But the inner layer, the key pin, that's going to be this island. That will be the thing I focus on keeping clean the most at the expense of anything else. And then I can add the back counter of the kitchen with dishes. And then I can add the living room. And I feel like the kitchen table, our dining room table, and the classroom area, that sitting area by the back porch, I think those will naturally integrate into themselves, and also the front thing. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, I just came up with that on the fly because I'm a freaking genius, and you guys inspire me and help me so much. Okay, so here is the plan. Clearly my house is clean because, well, my house is clean, guys. You saw it in my live stream if you were there. If you weren't there, dead to me. But if you were in my live stream, specifically you, Canada Meg, I don't care that you messaged me privately and was like, I'm so sorry I missed it. You're dead to me. And you never even invited me to Canadian Thanksgiving, so why are we even friends? I will keep working on the laundry room linchpin, but also now I can shift to this island linchpin. So those are the only two places that I have to focus to keep clean, and the rest should clean themselves. Maybe, probably, or not. We'll see. But you'll know because you'll be here along for the ride, and I will show you whether or not this is working. And in all honesty, if I'm being really, truly, authentically honest with myself, I will keep this up for several months and then all of a sudden backslide so hard that we have to start over. But for now, it has been working. I should look back and see when I cleaned my laundry room. I feel like it's been weeks, but what if it's only days? What if it's only been days? I feel like it's been weeks. But I've been keeping up. I've been managing to do it. It's really exciting. And it's clean now. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, that was a waste. She is wiping down this stupid island so many times. The first time, it's to get all of the food crud off of it. The second is to wash it off with Dawn dish soap because that's what I clean with. And now it was so soapy. I can't believe you guys couldn't see how much water and soap is on there. Probably because I'm adding it right here. I am wiping off the soap bubbles with water. And the last step is usually wiping off with this towel that I have right here because I don't want water spots. But there's so much water that for some reason you can't see. I have to dry it off first before I can use the other towel because it doesn't really dry, it just more polishes. And it was not working. So I do end up wiping down this island like 4 times. But it looks really nice. So clean. And I'm really happy. Once this part is done, it feels like it's easier to get the rest of the house going because I have one really pretty thing to look at. So when I was doing my whole house clean and reset with my fall decor, I did have a few people wondering why I was decorating before my house was clean. Like, it just seemed bizarre to some people. And it's because I need little rewards. Like, I need to give myself some satisfaction to look to see and be like, okay, that is beautiful. Now I can make this space beautiful, instead of punishing myself for having a dirty house and be like, no, you don't get to have beauty in your home until your home is clean. And then you can go along and make it beautiful and decorate. It wasn't inspiring. I would have felt more beat down. And there's no need to punish myself for having a dirty house. I don't need to punish myself to make myself behave better. One, it's never going to work. I am 42. I'm not a good housekeeper. Oh, come look at the beauty. So I'm not going to punish myself for not being great at something. It's just I'm trying to be better. I don't need a stick. I just need a carrot. And the carrot is decorating. So now I'm moving to the living room. Oh, you know why? It's pretty late in the day. I had a really hard time doing like back end YouTube-y stuff that's just not functioning for me. And so I got a really late start in the day. And I realized this is going to end up being a 2-day clean. So one of the things that I would like to do is living room. I want to be able to relax at the end of the day in my living room. It doesn't happen. Okay, don't worry. It goes downhill from here. But that's my goal. I'm like, okay, the island is beautiful. It makes me happy. Living room will be good, and I can do the rest later. And I think I'm trying to tell my husband that I want to order in, or that he has to make food, or I have a plan somewhere. I don't know what it is. I think I have food that I'm making for him, which is good. So first things first, I took those boxes down. It was trash bags. I haven't bought trash bags in about a year, and I finally had to buckle and buy some. Some of this laundry I know is clean, and some has been out here for far too long and will need to be washed again because I don't trust it. Kesha keeps like apparating in and out of the shot. She's ridiculous. Oh, also look at right in front of Kesha. Okay, she laid down so you can't see it, but right in front of Kesha, there was a tiny bone because I gave all the dogs treats, but she hoards her treat so that she can punish her brother and sister for actually eating theirs. And she'll do it for so long until she just doesn't pay enough attention and one of them steals it and eats it. And she gets so pissed about it. So she basically never gets a treat because she wants to be such a bag of butts about it. All right, and here there is a stain and I'm trying to clean it. And then I remember, oh yeah, there was a stain on this couch cushion that I treated with Resolve, but then it was where Kesha was laying. But then I didn't feel like dealing with it anymore. And Helene was coming and my kids needed to sleep on the couch. And so I just swapped the couch cushions so I could have one flipped over and no one would know that there was a stain. But because I have my stupid upholstery cleaner out, I was like, yeah, let's address the bottom stain. That right there looked like, I think it was part of a lizard that one of my dogs was clearly eating and left on the ottoman. And I wasn't going to tell you guys that because it was so gross. So I won't tell you that. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And so now I'm rotating these back because if I have them swapped the way I did, the stuffing that I put in them, there's like a seam that kind of lifts and it looks really wonky. So they should be this way. I just didn't want to bust out the upholstery cleaner the other week. Also, I am always endlessly impressed by how much crap I can get under my couch cushions. It's very impressive. Leroy coming in to see if maybe Kesha's bone was unsupervised long enough. He's usually the one who steals it. And then she gets so mad and tries to fight him. But she doesn't have really any front teeth. So not a lot of bite to that dog. Just a little bit of gumming. And then, hold on, wait for it. I don't know what we're waiting for. It's going to be a significant amount of time. So don't wait for anything. This is just me trying to get the backs of my cushions to stop looking insane because of Kesha. She does blend in so well. Leroy doesn't. He has a little bit of black to his fur. If I let it grow out long enough, he's a black dog. And then when he gets a haircut, he is very much a taupe colored schnauzer. All right. So my husband couldn't find something. Now his work phone. He could not find his work phone anywhere. And so I finally decided maybe it fell and got kicked under the couch. And then I realized how much is under my couch. Also, the rug stays for the laundry room that I couldn't find, those were also under the couch, but I picked them up the night prior so you don't get to see it here. But I've decided it is time we have to do underneath the couch. There is a decent amount of laundry, decent amount of Kleenex, rolled paper towels, all of the dog hair. There's so much dog hair. And socks. And then here there's something stuffed and I keep trying to pull it, and eventually it turns out I just have to go to the other side and unwedge it. And it was my cute little toadstool pillow, which I called a mushroom pillow before, and I was corrected. It is a toadstool, and a monster slipper that my son literally never wears, but Leroy thinks is fantastic. So he brings it through the house. I may have thrown it out during this clean because my kid never wears them, and I'm tired of Leroy bringing it out. He's got his own toys, but I don't know if I did for sure. I may have just washed it and put it back into play. We'll see if I find it again in a later clean, if I ever actually did. These cuts where the dogs move and the cat moves randomly are always so funny to me. It's just like, teleport, teleport. Look at how many paper towel rolls. 3 paper towel rolls. That's excessive. That's where we store them. We, finish up using paper towels and we just lob it underneath the couch, as I'm sure all of you do in your own home. And I think I do sweep up and throw out a few of the cat toys because my cats are never interested in them, and I am tired of pulling them out from underneath the couch where it's Leroy who puts them there. Leroy gets the cat toys to try to get the cats to play with him, and I'm tired of it. I think I mop. We'll all have to see. I do want to wash a lot of those blankets because they smell like dog, but those socks are mostly clean, so I just think I put them in my sock baskets. Now, do I mop? Let's all decide. Oh, I know what I do here. Okay, so I'm going to take all of the pillows off and I'm going to vacuum off this couch. And vacuum dies. I had not plugged it in, and I have no idea where the charger is. Still, to this moment, I have no idea where it is. Okay, and it's a new day, new outfit, new day. What happens is I got annoyed that the vacuum didn't work, so I set it down, and then I decided to charge my phone and take a break and sit on the couch. And as I'm on the couch, my friend who runs our Azure Standard is, you can see a little bit on the island. It's a bulk order co-op where you order, it's where I get my flour, my sugar, my rolled oats. This one I ordered lemon juice, and I thought it was tuna fillet, but it's not tuna. I thought it was salmon fillets. It's canned salmon. So we're going to have to figure out what to possibly do with that many cans of salmon. Only thing I can think of is like salmon patties, which I've never made before. So we'll have to figure that out. Maybe that'll be something we do together. And because there is a discount code, it was Hurricane 25 and it was 25% off. I also got 8 frozen chickens. They're like organic free range chickens. It's expensive to buy in bulk. So I was really excited. I was like, oh, 25% off. You bet I'm adding a 10 to my cart. Anyway, it said that it was on the truck and you have to meet the truck with everybody who ordered with you and you unload the truck together. It said it was on the truck, but I never got a delivery day. So I'm just like hanging out on my couch and my friend calls and she's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm good. Are you okay? She's like, your order's here. And I was like, frack, frack, frack. So I wore my beautiful outfit that you saw and I drove there as quickly as I could and loaded up. And I was talking to her because we haven't seen each other in a while. And another guy was late. And we were talking to him about like the government shooting us with radiation during solar eclipses. And my car stopped running. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it must have been idling for too long. And I went in. I've been having car trouble for a little bit. It was dead. And my friend had just left. So I called her and I was like, hey, I need a jump, turn around. And so she turned around and came and we were trying to jump it. Like we were letting it stay connected with her car running for a while. My car would not turn over. It just wouldn't work. And like the sun was starting to set and she had to go get her daughter from gymnastics. And we're a 1-car family in that my husband has a work car that you're absolutely not allowed to drive for personal things. Like it's a big deal. I have a ridiculous story about that for later. But so I am calling our car insurance and they're like, yeah, you don't have roadside assistance. I was like, how the frack do I not have it? Like, that's insane. And so I need to get it to the dealership because it's still under warranty, but the dealership is closing in an hour. So I'm texting Mark and I'm like, we have to call. We have to get permission and know where we're going to dump off the car because they're 2 miles from me and it's $140 for the tow. And I was like, I am absolutely not towing this car home, which is significantly further, and paying so much money so that we can get another tow truck to tow it to the dealership and pay like $1 bazillion, right? And so the dealership's not answering and I am not willing. And so finally I'm like, okay, I'm just going to leave my car there. So I go in, the pickup is at a gun range. And so I was like, hey guys, I'm leaving my car here. I don't have an option. Please don't tow it. I will come get it. But if you do tow it to the Chevy dealership. And I left them my information and I called my friend who just picked her daughter up and she came and got me and all of my chickens and lemon juice and all that. She drove me home. And so I am just super pissed at the car. My husband, he luckily, because it was the next day, this is the day that Milton is supposed to hit. So they have a telework day, except for everybody went in the morning anyways. I don't know, maybe to high five each other. I don't know why he went into work, but one of his coworkers brought their personal vehicle into work. And then so they got my car jumped. I don't know, maybe the penises help cars jump. I'm not sure because every time I tried jumping it the night before, it was like just 2 non-penis havers. And so the penises are critical in getting a car to jump. I know this now. And so they get it to go. He parks it at home and we have like a exterior jump pack, which is like mighty powerful, I guess. So we can get my car to run if we jump it every single time. And my husband's actually at the dealership now trying to get everything addressed, thankfully. I figured they wouldn't sass him nearly as much as they sassed me when I called back because I brought it in and they were like, no, it's just a bad battery. So I bought a new battery and had them replace it. And now they're like, oh, well, you have to pay like $180 to re-diagnose your car. And I was like, no, I don't. You diagnosed it wrong. That's your fault. But they were really mean to me. So I find that sometimes when people are just really mean and condescending to women, if you send in a U.S. Marshal, they tend to not be so rude. And we'll see if it works. I'll update you later if it works or if they're just blanket rude to everybody. All right. So we did dishes again. Always fascinating and thrilling. And because my husband on this day is going to telework when he gets home from high-fiving his friends and jumping the car, I want to clean the office area for him. It's really messy. It's uncomfortable. Clearly, look, that is from the, I hurt my nail. I hurt my nail repeatedly on this day. And finally, at the end of the day, when I close a window, I broke the nail. So I guess that was its limit. But look, that's from the dehydrator, guys. From when I unboxed the dehydrator. It's been over there for that long. It's not great. I finally broke down those boxes and I'm really proud of it. And so we're going to clean off the whole desk initially, and we're going to pick up all the trash and sweep and mop, and he's going to have a really comfortable place. And so I'm starting to clean it off for him, but it's just way too messy and chaotic, and it's his crap and I am over it. So I get the dishes, the clear trash, and maybe I shuffle a few things and then I abandon it. I'm like, screw this. My house is way too messy for me to be dealing with this desk, which originally was my desk. And then I redid my bedroom and I got my super comfy chair. And now I do all of my editing and stuff like that on my laptop in my room. And my husband overtook this desk, which is stupid. I should take it back and I should make him have his office in the garage for fun. Oh my gosh. So I won't go in the garage now. One, I need Mac to come help me clean it and organize it because it seems so stupid. It's nothing that I want anything to do with. But, okay, so you guys know, I don't know why, maybe you do know, the like punching dummies, the ones that have faces but no arms. They have faces and torsos but no arms. And like, I guess you just punch them a bunch. I don't really know what they're for, but it's like a torso face situation. They're always Caucasian. Well, all the ones I've ever seen, I wonder if they try to like branch out or if they're like, no, let's just, the optics are better if we're only punching white dummies. It's hilarious. But my husband's like, I brought one home. And I was like, oh my God, where is it? Because I am so scared of wax figures. I'm scared of animatronics. And I am scared of mannequins. I just think they're going to move and grab me back. Okay. I just think they're going to move. I can't handle it. And, I was like, oh no. Okay. And he's like, it's got a face. And I was like, oh no, no. Okay. I was like, and he's like, I'm going to put it in the garage. I was like, well, you can't, like, how are you going to position it? Because it definitely can't look at me when I go in the garage. And it definitely can't look at a corner like the Blair Witch Project situation. Like it can't face the corner and it can't face me. I can't deal with this. And, maybe I'll just never go in the garage again. And whatever's in the deep freezer is just there to stay. And so he finally brought it home and it's laying down. So I have to actively go see it. But we have a like for Vendetta Guy Fawkes mask for my son because he was going to go blow up the parliament. And so we needed it. And so I thought it would be better to put that on top of the face. And I feel a little bit better about it. So now it's just laying in there, last I checked, with a Guy Fawkes mask on, thinking about anarchy. And I like that a lot. All right, so we are going to sweep and mop. And another reason why I wanted to get my husband's office done, his stolen office done, was because I don't want him in the shot. I feel like he'll pull too much focus and I don't want him to get a big ego. And so we're going to stick him in the corner. And the hope is that you guys never ever see him. He is not part of my YouTube. I do not want him to be popular. We have to shove him to the corner and let him know who the real star is. It's Leroy. All right. That part's done. And now let's do the table, I guess. I think I thought, okay, it's close enough to the office that I should get this done. Also, it is, because of the storm, it's really cool out with a really solid breeze. And so I was finally able to open all of the windows. Like you have to wait for the exact perfect climate to open all the windows. So my windows are all open and it kind of has fall vibes. So I put on the movie You've Got Mail. I intentionally went to Amazon Prime and bought the movie You've Got Mail so I could watch it because it is hands down my favorite fall vibes movie. And I've decided I'm going to watch a lot of fall vibes movies and then I'm going to switch to like Hallmark Christmas movies. And I'm just going to be syrupy sweet and get all of those really good feelings in. So, okay. So we've got You've Got Mail, which I don't know. It's so fall. What are other really fall vibe movies? Like what are the other ones that I can watch? I'm putting off, I was going to watch Wednesday, but I need to put that off. I think I'll do that the week of Halloween. I'll watch Wednesday and Hocus Pocus. And I don't know. That's like when the Halloween movies are going to go. But right now, I just want the ones that scream fall to you. So you have to let me know. Oh, that's what it was, is I wanted to sweep the floor closer to the kitchen table, but I also need to get the kitchen table to be cleaned off so I wasn't knocking more dirt. Oh, and tragically, I was like, I really like the floor cleaner now that I dilute it a ton. But what if I should add more cleaner to the bottle? And I do, and I really over-concentrated it again. And so now my feet prints are being everywhere. It's not cleaning well. And so, but not enough for me to dump out the bottle. So I just end up like, as I use the cleaner, I'll go add water to it to try to keep diluting it. And then later I have to like go back and remop my footprints off of certain parts. And it was not my favorite. Oh, here, I think it's crayon that got crushed in, like a black-green crayon, but it could be a pencil. I hope it's not marker, but it's in the wood. I did not get it off. I tried very, very hard, but it's still there. I have to figure out what it is and how to get it off of that part in the floor without ruining the floor. In general, we're going to have to resurface this floor, especially after Beauty goes, because her nails have left. Her nails have left a lot of damage. That was incredibly hard to say right then. I'm trying really hard not to watch the movie on the TV. Oh, it makes me so happy. I love Tom Hanks so much that for a birthday I had a long time ago, my husband flew out my best friend to meet with me. And we went to Portland when Portland wasn't a hellhole. And we walked around and we popped into different restaurants and ordered different appetizers and shared them. And then we'd go to a different restaurant and order different appetizers. Like we were just doing all that. And we came back to the hotel. And when I had checked in, I mentioned it was my birthday. So the hotel gave us a bottle of like bubbly wine, champagne. And so we sat in our windowsill and overlooked Portland and discussed how much we love Tom Hanks and drank the whole bottle together. And it was just so funny. Like so much of my birthday was focused on Tom Hanks and my deep love for him. It was so fun. And hopefully, I'm hoping that we won't get any more storms and that everything is okay and that she can come down and we can kind of replicate that again for her birthday this year in Savannah. It's a high hope, but I did just recently message her before Milton and I was like, I don't know, babe, maybe hold off on buying the plane tickets. It just feels like a really way too active hurricane season to make plans in Savannah. Because it would suck if she came out and then like everything flooded and we lost power. But I miss her. I haven't seen her in months and months, and we need this. All right, if you were watching this and thinking, wow, that's a lot of wood cleaner, mind your own business. It smells so good. I think that was me like dipping down to the table to smell it a little bit. It smells so good. Honestly, what I should do also is like wipe off the backs of those chairs because the tops definitely have been touched with food hands and they are a little bit gross, but I didn't do it this time. I did do another project that I was putting off for those chairs, which you'll see in a minute, and I'm very, very proud of that. Oh, and the generator that I had gotten to do a review for on this thing, there's the box for it that I never broke down. So we are really working through like sponsored product box breakdown, as I'm sure that they were hoping for when they sent me their items. They're like, also, could you hoard the boxes for weeks and weeks and months and then later break it down? And I said, yep, that's on brand. I can definitely do that. I wonder what I'll get next. I hope it's something massive so the box is like the size of a room and I leave it there for 6 months. The pets would freaking love that. I said this before and then I will never buy upholstered dining room tables again. It's so stained and I cannot make that better. I tried. Maybe I'll have to look in and get different chairs when my kids are out of the house, or 20, whichever comes first. And I'll just have to buy different chairs to go with this table because they are really gross. All right. Yep, look, not great, guys. Oh, and I decided Milton will wobble south, I will put my rugs back. I had been holding them because I didn't want them to get super, look, I thought maybe he could lift it, but he can't. It's just been so muddy and rainy that I didn't want to put the rugs out, but it just doesn't feel right with it empty. So here's a spot there that clearly I had missed. All right, now we get girl power in. Look at how strong they are. Ready? 3, 2, 1. So strong. I love how we all get on our tippy toes to walk it. And that Leroy comes to see if it's anything delicious. Maybe it is. I bet there's a decent amount of cat food that I'm sweeping up right there. And then my poor, sad, broken Roomba. I wonder if I can get my husband to try to fix it. I feel like he can fix it. And I'm ready to admit the fact that I've only used it a handful of times, but then I broke it. Even though when we were buying it, he's like, no, you'll never use it. And I said I would. And he said, no, you wouldn't. And then I had like kind of a tantrum at Sam's Club. And then the giant robot sweeper thing that's unmanned that comes around approached me and scared the living crap out of me. And then I just put it in the cart and ran off. So anyways, yeah, I have to admit that he was right and I was wrong, which I loathe. I need to wait until he does something really terrible and be like, I forgive you, and fix the Roomba. So fingers crossed that my husband is terrible soon so that I can get him to fix my robot vacuum. Ta-da, mopping again. I think around here is when I realized that I made a terrible mistake with the concentration of the cleaner. And it's so sticky again. And it sucks because anytime I walk into the room, it dulls it because I'm leaving little sticky footprints everywhere. But that's okay. I feel motivated. The house is still pretty clean. I could do an overall sweep and mop again. And it should be diluted enough by now. And then, I don't know, maybe it's motivation to be able to go sweep and mop again and not wait 2.5 months. And maybe eventually I will unbox that shredder and then shred all those things in the other box. Maybe. All right. I am trying so hard to get centered, but I'm not really sure. I know how to center it on the window. That's pretty obvious. But the centering it on the kitchen, is it too far back, too far forward, too close to the kitchen, too close to the office? That part is not easy. And I was really focusing on it. And then I was like, oh, frick it. It doesn't matter. And I'm grateful for that. Tippy toe walk, and they help me. And also, I love that Leroy and sweet potato are such big parts of this. Okay, so I put that down, as you can clearly see. I do think it's off-center now. It didn't feel off-center when I did this, but it does look off-center. All right. So finally, here's the moment where I'm like, you know what? Finally, I bought these little guard things. What are they? The little felt furniture guard things. And I just haven't put them on my kitchen chairs. And I don't know why. I just refuse to do it. And so today was my day. Today I was going to get it done. Even though the rest of my house was catastrophic and filthy and I needed to do more, I wanted to take the extra moment to put it on my kitchen chairs. And I'm like really happy because it slides so well. And now I'm not as stressed about the kids moving the chairs in and out and scratching the crap out of the floor, which they already did. But again, we have to resurface the floors eventually. And I think, look, if you guys look, you can see my feet prints just printing up like crazy here. And I can see it too. So I do dilute it and apparently misplace it. I do dilute it a little bit. And I'm hoping that this will work because it's just unfun to have a nice clean space and have footprint gross floors. I can't believe I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. It's going to be so nice if I add more cleaner, when clearly I hated the cleaner before when I didn't know it was concentrated because I don't read bottles. All right. While we wait for our second round of it drying, we are going to put little feet on all of this. And in case you're curious, at this time, in You Got Mail, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are arguing about whether or not the caviar is a garnish. And she's finally figuring out that he is Joe Fox for the first time. And I'm not worried about spoilers, you guys. That movie's like 30 years old. If you don't know, then spoilers. Also, they fall in love. It's a love story. But it's so cute to me. All right, so because Potato was spayed and my dogs are very interested in everyone and everything all the time, I knew she was going to be smelled too strongly and with too much vigor and like knocked around by Leroy and Beauty. So I set up the collapsible crate for her to spend like the first little bit recovering. And so her bed's in there. There was a bowl of water in there and there's a litter box in there. But she's fine and spry and happy. She gets her dang it, I hit the table again. Sorry, guys. She gets her stitches out on Monday, but I do need to break down that kennel and get rid of it because that side was unzipped by one of my kids, and Leroy discovered that there is a treat factory in there, and I am tired of him trying to access treats. Do you see how he brings me the lamb? Like, hey, Mom, you're busy. Do you want to play with this lamb? So I was sitting on them and stuff like that because I thought maybe it would help adhere a little bit better. I don't know why I thought that. I love this collapsible kennel. This was such a good choice. It worked out incredibly well, and I use it all of the time. Oh, you know what? I actually did get this off of Amazon. I'll throw a link in for you guys if you're looking for a really giant, good collapsible kennel. This has seen us through some things. I think it was the kennel I used in the RV to bring Beauty across from Portland to Georgia. But man, there was a lot of litter kicked out of that litter box. When Sweet Potato was still pretty drugged up, but trying to recover, and I brought her home, she only wanted to lay in the litter box. I kept picking her up and moving her to her bed, and she would get up and drunkenly wobble to the litter box to hang out. That was really weird. Okay, so I couldn't figure out why this kennel was so heavy. It's very lightweight. It's because she was in there being a Goomba. I thought that was funny that I was going to unzip and watch her fall. So we're going to break it down and collapse it, and then I'm going to stuff it under my bed. And I like, even though I have this dog bed in here, it collapses down flat anyways. And just goes to my bed. And I was so not that worried about Hurricane Milton coming at this point that I didn't even try to keep it put up so that I could put the cats in there in case we had tornado warnings, because we weren't on the side that was supposed to get tornadoes. But oh my God, did Florida get slammed? That was wild how many there were. It was just nonstop tornado warnings. So I finished watching You've Got Mail and I switched on the Ryan Hall coverage and it was nonstop. Oh, yeah, I'm done. These are to be continued. Here's the other stuff that I do. But thank you so much for spending time with me today. You'll see me really soon finishing up this house. And I love you. Bye.